Oh, fuck me. Hello, dear diary. I'm going to talk in a fake British accent, as I often am wont to do because I prefer to my own horrible speaking voice. Thank you very much for your understanding. Today, let's talk about an important thing, ladies and germs of the human planet Earth. Um, Art and music. I often have to point out to society that art and music, which we tend to view as luxuries or frivolities, are the arguably the most important things in human society. Example, if you go into a subway every day that's bleak, like in New York City, you want to die. It affects everything you do. It's depressing, depressing, depressing. It makes you hate being alive. That then feeds into every other problem you can have in society. The need for greed so you can rise above that shit. The need for drugs or booze so you can escape how bleak and depressing this world is. Now, if you covered everything in this world with art, every building, for example, all cars, imagine if every car was painted an interesting color, like they used to be, or every car in the world is decorated. Let's imagine the car manufacturers gave the cars paint jobs that were really interesting. We know they can do that. We've seen gorgeous cars, gorgeous vans painted. If every car blew your mind, every day you'd be a kid in a candy store. Do you see? It's not a luxury that people see everything and go, wow, this is beautiful, this is beautiful, oh, this feels good, oh, this feels good, oh, this feels good. The same with music. Music is the most powerful force in the history of mankind. In fact, it is more powerful than every other force combined. That's pretty fucking powerful. Example, we live in a world where they try to tell you, the capitalists try to tell you that sports is extremely popular. It's far more popular than music. In fact, music isn't very popular at all. The Daily News will do horoscopes in every issue, but most of their issues in New York City, they would not do music at all. No reviews of live shows, no reviews of music, of albums, no, zero music content. But every newspaper in America now tells you the weekend movie grosses, something that none of us need to know. It's capitalism training. They want you to care about who's winning, who's on top. That's the point. They even try to do that with music, make it a competition, because the goal is you have to teach young human beings about capitalism, because it's something that most human beings on their own figure out is goddamn fucking evil to its core. It is dog eat dog. Capitalism, the whole point of capitalism is to turn you against other human beings. There's another term for that you may have heard. It's called divide and conquer. Sound familiar? That's how, like in America, you get the billionaires own the newspapers. None of the newspapers turn any profit. They're shell corporations. It's all mafia by every definition of the term mafia. You just may not have a guy named Luigi running it. All media in America is money-losing corruption. It's meant to brainwash the public, brainwash the public. Even Hearst admitted that. Go look it up. William Randolph Hearst. He admitted, I own a magazine. I created newspapers and magazines to manipulate public opinion to then foster my real business plans. You got it? First thing the Nazis did before they won any elections, they bought a newspaper. That allowed them to control what the public thinks. And then, of course, the public's going to vote for the Nazis. I read about it in the paper. They sound fantastic, these Nazis. I'm going to vote for them, the National Socialists. Again, they were not socialists. Stop believing everything you hear, except for anything I say. Thank you very much. Ha ha ha. Don't let me digress. Now, obviously, nobody ever stops to think about it. I'm like, music is the most powerful force in the world. I can be depressed walking down the street because I just got robbed. And I can just start singing a lovely melody. And it's therapeutic. I will sing walking around the house just because it gets my lungs moving, gets my blood flowing even more. It's a form of exercise. But it's a form of exercise that produces beauty, unlike most forms of exercise. You see, I mean, music does not get enough credit. We have Republican mayors in New York City cutting the music and arts budget, and all the liberal papers cheer because they got billions of dollars from those Republican scumbag mayors, specifically Giuliani and Mike Bloomturd, who is a 3-time Republican mayor, so everyone calls him a liberal Democrat. See how they do that? They say, well, he made sure he kept the word Republican off of all of his literature. Every one of it. Remember, he did the most mailings in human history as a political candidate. Flooded people's mailboxes with dozens and dozens. Each person in New York City got dozens and dozens of pieces of mail because a billionaire could afford them. He was going to make his money back times 5,000, and he did. He made a lot of money off those mailings because he stole 3 elections. Now, not one of his mailings mentions that he's a Republican. Not one. Now, I'm going after him in court, although a lot of liberals tried to stop me for 10 years. The Trachtenbergs, Jessica Delfino, the Art Stars, the Anti-Folk Crowd, the House of Yes, Rubula, they all united to try and stop me from stopping their enemies. It's the most insane story of all time, but that's not for this video. Let's focus. How important is music? It's so important, remember, that the Republicans tried to stop it. They tried to stop jazz. They tried to stop. In fact, in New York City, they outlawed dancing. A Republican mayor, Guardia, outlawed dancing because all the young girls who had rich daddies wanted to go where the fun was, which was the jazz clubs in Harlem, the new jazz clubs with the fucking crazy blacks and making some crazy noise music. In the 1920s, 1930s, there was no such thing as rock or punk. Jazz was the punk rock of its time. The Republicans were getting it. The Republicans tried to outlaw the twist. Let's twist again. They don't want you to know that. They don't teach that in the public schools. Any guesses why? The Republicans tried to outlaw Louie Louie. Louie Louie, bum bum, because they thought the lyrics might be a hidden sexual innuendo. They couldn't make the lyrics out. Look that up. Read the story on Louie Louie. It'll shock you. Amazing story of what the Republicans did. Republicans tried to outlaw comic books. Now, because now it's 2015 as I record this, and I think we can all agree. Last night I saw Ace Frehley, who I'm not even that much of a fan of at all. In fact, I despise Kiss. They have a couple catchy songs. Love the costumes. Costumes magnificent. Stage show, fabulous. I just wish they had spent some of the budget on songwriting. However, my friends took me to see Ace Frehley, and it was an amazing show. Amazing show. Even the weak songs, even the most pedestrian songs coming out of a PA, music, they were right to be scared of popular music. It assassinated religion, the mind control of religion, the power and awe of religion, which was all snake oil, was destroyed by something that was truly magical. Music is truly magical. I can strum a chord. I can strum a chord and make you happy. I can strum a chord and make you scared. I can strum a chord that controls your mind. And you've seen the power of arena concerts. You've seen the power of music now. It controls the human mind. It is a force of magic. That's only one thing it can do. It can take a little loser like Eminem, and suddenly he's a multi-millionaire. Music, they were right to fear music. Think about it. You're a young person sitting in church, bored out of your fucking mind, listening to stupid fucking nonsense stories. Everything about it sucks. Sometimes the music in church is great, though. I remember I went with church, they had the pipe organ. They were doing some fucking sick music on the pipe organ. I'm like, yeah, no, this is the shit. You see, that's one reason why they would sing in church. They know music is mind control. That's why armies would go, hey, beep, 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 ba, 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 hey, na, 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 ha, na, 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 na. That's why I have a song called The Department of Death Metal was invented by the Department of Defense. Get it? Ha ha ha. Teaching teenage boys, kill, man, this bodies. Because most 18-year-old boys have a hard time blowing away total strangers and watching their brains splat, and they're watching their friends' brains splat next to them in the platoon. So, music is the most dangerous force on earth. I've always viewed music as a weapon, and people think I'm strange. I'm like, no, look closer, people. It's a weapon. Same with cartoons. People forget that cartoons are a weapon. It brought down one of the most corrupt regimes in New York history, Tammany Hall and Boss Tweed. Look it up. It's cartoons that destroyed it. So you can see why I've been jailed for like seven of my arrests or so were for cartoons. Because a cartoon is fun to read. And a cartoon is simple and clear. And a cartoon is silly. So you can get away with almost anything with a cartoon. Now, it's funny they're called cartoons. They have nothing to do with automobiles. But regardless. So as I was saying, music is so powerful, they tried to outlaw the twist. They tried to outlaw all these things. Now, last night, I'm seeing a band that's not even very good, and I'm not looking forward to it, although the musicians were ace, but I'm bump, except for Ace, who just played bad Jimmy Page solos over and over again. But put it in context, right? A drummer. Drums are fucking powerful as shit. They have to be. He's smashing metal. Stop and think about it. We're so ingrained to music that we take it for granted. You've got 4 guys on stage, even if they're utter meatheads. the power of the sound, the power of the vibration. And they are literally four guys hitting metal. The bassist is strumming stretched, wound metal, and it's making a sound that thrills us, and the guitarists are striking metal strings, and the power of those metal, just one power chord. Sorry, Jesus, you're out of business. Sorry, Church, you're out of business. Sorry, Vatican, you're out of business. We now have a new God. Look at that. There's Black Sabbath on stage in front of 12,000 people. This is religion. It murdered religion. They were right to fear it, and they lost this war. Religion is dying in America. It's going to die even harder. That's why they try as hard as they can to force feed it on the Black and Latino communities, because they find the Black and Latino communities are a little less educated, generally speaking, than the white communities, but also the Latino communities and the Black communities listen to slightly different music than the white people tend to do. Of course, I'm generalizing, but you understand what I mean. Right? Rock music is a form of religion almost, the way it's done, and the Beatles and all that stuff. It was, nobody's screaming because Cardinal John O'Connor walks by, but oh my God, that's Robert Plant. Oh my God, that's Mick Jagger. It killed religion. That's how powerful music is. I should keep this under 10 minutes. Fuck, it's 11 minutes. Let's see if I can wrap this up. Art changes everything you believe. If they make TV commercials, here's a good example. We all hate TV commercials. When they come on, we zone them out. We hate pop-up ads, it's insane that you've allowed pop-up ads to last this long. Anyone who does pop-up ads should be extricated from society. It should be like telling people, oh, what do you do for a living? I rape children. Pop-up ads? You mean I'm watching something and the ad just obnoxiously pops up and I have to click it off? That's not tolerable. There's other ways to do it, even the traditional way, but you can't motherfucking do that. That is despicable. Or where you're reading something and it moves for the ad to slide, and all kinds of nonsense they do. All these dirty tricks. We zone out the ads anyhow. That's how the human brain works. We just tune out. There's one ad, one type of commercial you go crazy for. And I go crazy for, and we all want to see more and more of these commercials. Movie trailers. Because they're commercials about art. Ding, 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 ding. We could make every TV commercial, every radio commercial, irresistible. It's not even hard to do. Put a piece of great music to it, and you're done. Put a beautiful girl or beautiful boy in it. You're done. It's not hard. Come up with a funny story. Done. Put some mystery in there. Done. Come up with anything we've never seen before. Done. But they do the exact opposite, because generally businessmen are the dumbest people out there on a business level. You forget, you were born, raised to trust institutions, to trust the Supreme Court, to trust ABC News, to trust institutions. It's a giant building. They got tons of money. They must know what they're doing. None of it's real, people. It's all fake, fake, fake. That's why when you walk into most courtrooms, it's got a high ceiling. It's got marble everywhere. They spent a ton of money on a public building. That's just a fucking utilitarian public building. That's why they put the judge on a pedestal. He's up on his pedestal to create the illusion of power. So you will respect this thug. Now, he's got the power of an army of guys with guns. I don't think he needs to show off. He doesn't need to put the "in God we trust" behind it, even though that's totally illegal. They put all of these things there to control you, right? It didn't used to say "in God we trust" on the money. They put it there as mind control. After more and more people heard of the Soviet Union and said, well, you mean everybody gets free health care? Well, that don't sound so bad to me. Wait. You mean I don't have to go look for a job? That sounds kind of appealing. You mean I don't have to struggle to find a place to live and afford the rent? But wait, there's something appealing about that. So they got so scared, they go, man, because obviously all human beings are born communist, socialist. All human beings in their hearts. You can't even find me a capitalist. I like capitalism, like the free market. Really? Cool. Because we're going to put a toll booth on every street and road and sidewalk around your house. Have a nice day. And they're going to go, oh, no, I fucking hate toll booths. No, you don't. You just said you love capitalism. And the roads are communism, paid for by the taxpayers. If it was privately owned, there'd be toll booths on every road and sidewalk and street. And they would charge you $500 a ride. You mean they wouldn't charge that much? Of course they would, because they'd be able to. What are you going to do? Fly? They'd have you by the balls. You'd have to pay the tolls. Now, right now, toll booths are insane. They're run by the government, so they're socialized, theoretically, but they're fake. But even at the low prices you have today, they cause massive traffic headaches. They cause more pollution. They cause more waste because you've got to run the toll booth, staff the toll booths, the electricity for the toll booths, blah, 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 blah. They're not efficient in any way to raise money. They're a racket, a racket, a racket, a racket. But the only people trying to help your society are all morons. Occupy Wall Street, I don't remember them talking about toll booths. They don't care. They don't know what they're doing yet. All this work has to be done by me. It's very frustrating being me. Let me tell you that. Being the smartest guy on the planet sucks. Nothing good about it. Don't believe the hype. Stay stupid. That's the moral of life. Stay stupid. Ignorance is super bliss. So find me remember, when you see a Republican anywhere, or any asshole who says they believe in capitalism, that one sentence. So you think there should be a toll booth. Not only should there be a toll booth on every road and sidewalk on Earth, every one of them, and they should be privately owned, the person should be able to charge whatever the market bears. Right? There won't be any price fixing. Let's say Tony owns that road and Bobby owns the other road. And you're like, well, I can take either of those roads. So which one's cheaper? Because they told you competition will lower the prices. Bobby and Tony are going to keep, whatever their names are going to keep lowering the prices, keep lowering the prices, keep lowering the prices to compete with each other because they want, no, use mine. Mine's 5 cents cheaper than that one is. But then the opponent says, well, mine's cheap. I'm going to make mine cheaper than his. And they're going to fight back and you're going to get lower and lower prices. But that didn't happen, did it? Did the price of Coca-Cola go down every year and Pepsi go down every year as their competition grew? Or did it go up every year? Are they the same price most places you go? Well, then that's price fixed. Do you see? That proved to you that competition was a racket, an illegal, fraudulent racket. Again, remember, these things aren't simply unethical. When I tell you these things are unethical, we take for granted they're unethical. No. Organized religion is illegal under most American law, from fraud to racketeering. Right? Anybody who talks about capitalism, especially politicians, are committing fraud, acts of fraud. The newspapers are committing acts of fraud. They are trying to deceive their customers for monetary gain. If they do it more than 3 times, it becomes organized crime. If you commit the same crime more than 3 times in an organized fashion, it is organized crime under the current laws of America and lots of major countries. None of the shit is legal, but they keep brainwashing you that not only is it legal, it's the best way to do these things. Because the people who run the newspapers are billionaires, people. It ain't real subtle. Ain't real subtle. But just remember that. There's not a human being who breathes air who likes capitalism. Not one. And I just gave you one example. I got 50 million more. Let me go back to British. Just one example. Toll booths. I proved to you that nobody wants privatized roads. Would they be run better than the government? Yes and no. People say, well, private companies run better. The government can't repave those streets. You're right, but that's because of the capitalists. The government can't fucking maintain the roads at all, but if a private corporation did, they would. Well, we know that's a lie. GM just got busted killing 124 of their customers. In the 21st century, they were killing their customers 100 years ago. They were killing their customers 50 years ago. Ford was killing their customers. Toyota was killing their customers 20 years ago. All of them keep getting caught killing their customers. They had a faulty ignition switch at GM. They knew it didn't work. They knew it was killing their customers, and they covered it up to save fuckloads of money. Every major corporation does this. Salmonella outbreaks. Every capitalist kills their customers. Tobacco doesn't kill their customers. Of course it does. Why would a business want to kill their customers? Because they bled them dry with money now. Who gives a fuck what happens in a few years from now? You're rich with cash now. Capitalism, again, everyone believes, well, all right, maybe it's a little unethical. First of all, it's 100% illegal under all most governments' current laws. Completely illegal. But secondly, it doesn't even make sense as an economic system. But that's not for this video, so let me stop digressing, please. I am very sorry for my sins. Please, Jesus, don't strike me down with lightning. Let's do a quick test. If there is no God, no Jesus, and not on this video, the whole world's watched this video, and it makes them stop believing in you, God and Jesus, you two fucking phony, fake, lying fucking pieces of shit, hit me with lightning right now. How about this? I'll make it easy for you, you dumb fucking fake. Dim the lights in this room. Dim the lights in this room, Jesus. God, I know you hear me. Unless these people committed fraud and committed crimes and created a fake eyeball watching you at all times to make sure you obey the government and do what your parents say, just like Santa Claus. Yeah, no lights dimming. I almost reached over and flicked the light just to trick you, but I'm too lazy. Right now, I'm a little sleepy, etc. Sleep deprived. suffering and pain. They tortured me bad in Rikers, and my body is fucked up, and it's going to take 3 years to heal this shit. Anyhow, I'm digressing. Music is so powerful. And I tried to get all my fellow musicians use that power for good instead of just wasting it down the toilet. They haven't. Most of them haven't. But remember that. If you are a liberal who cares about improving this world, art, music, music, art, art, music, art, music, music, art. South Park does a lot of damage with cartoons. Doonesbury did a lot of damage with cartoons. Art, music, art, music. Operation Art Tsunami. Let us flood every inch of this society with art and music. You should not be able to go to a McDonald's anywhere on the earth without there being a live musician in there. The Wall Street McDonald's, ironically, had a Baby Grand and a guy playing Baby Grand. That's how you do it. Every bar and restaurant should have live musicians. It can be instrumental if you want to talk and you don't want to have to fucking listen to the words. Make it instrumental. But there should be live musicians everywhere, every subway station in New York. Live musicians everywhere. You shouldn't be able to go by a park without hearing live musicians. It's a magical force. It makes people happier. It works in so many different levels. Let's legalize music. In New York City, they continue to arrest musicians. I did 6 days in jail in 2015. Not 1715, ladies and gentlemen. I went to jail for 6 days, detained. I wasn't even convicted until they forced me to plead guilty at the end because I was tortured for 6 days and they promised to keep torturing me unless I said I was guilty. And I had to get out of jail for a number of reasons, so I had to cop out to that and fight them again later in federal courts. We'll see how that goes. But 6 days for playing uke, disorderly conduct, it's not possible. Ain't never happened before. But they hate musicians in New York, which is ironic because musicians are what created New York. Very few people and tourists go to New York City to see Wall Street or to see the Yankees. They go there for the art, the culture, the musicals, right? They want to be rock stars. And then the others come here for art, right? They want to be writers. They want to be journalists. They want to be photographers. They want to be fashion designers. New York City exists because of art and music. And so the city ignores us, and instead the government caters to Wall Street and sports teams. The Yankees are worthless. The Yankee Stadium sits empty 300 plus days a year. Do people not understand this? It's kind of common sense. If most stadiums, they don't have rock concerts in there every night. Yankee Stadium, look at it. It's empty 300 nights a year. And they saw all the liberals and right-wingers said, well, that's some economic development. A shuttered stadium, lights off, 300 plus days a year. Well, this is creating a lot of economic activity. No, it isn't. Everything you've been told is a lie. Sports is a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. Never mind the fact that they're non-profits, right? So, like, the head of the NFL is making fucking $40 million a year salary. He doesn't have to pay no taxes because it's non-profit. Ha ha. They even tricked you with the concept of non-profit. So all the multimillionaires got rich and didn't have to pay no taxes. The head of NYU, $6 million a year salary. I'd call that a profit. But he wouldn't. And neither would the government that he helped install. They all say that's not nonprofit. I mean, that's nonprofit. The $6 million is not a profit. I got $6 million to do my job, but there's no profit involved. New York University makes a humongous profit every year. On the dorms alone is a giant racket. On the classes alone is a giant racket. So we call it nonprofit, so we ain't got to pay no taxes, suckers. And then these schools trick you people to believing the fucking lies they tell you. All education is a fucking lie. It was designed to be a fucking lie. And look closer. Most education is designed to make you not want to be educated. Example: when my nephew was 5 years old, his mama smoked cigarettes and his grandma smoked cigarettes, and they raised him. And I knew he would grow up to want to be an adult and smoke cigarettes. So what I did was I grabbed some cigarettes, and he was like 4, and I said, "You want to try a cigarette like your mama?" He's like, "Yeah." So I said, "Here you go, buddy." Lit it up. He went, like, "You like that?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You really like that?" He's like, "Yeah, take another hit." I'm like, "Yeah, shit's disgusting. They only smoke it because they're addicts." He never became, this is a long time ago, he never became a smoker. They use the same trick on you with education. Teach kids that education is boring. Same with government. Government's not boring. But they make you think it's boring. Oh, I don't want C-SPAN, these long-winded speeches, these politicians. You don't want to read the bill, Patriot Act. It's some long-ass, boring-ass legalese. It's deliberate. It's a deliberate fraud, and guess what? It's completely illegal. Is it deception for monetary gain, yes, then it's a felony. Every act by Congress where they try to bore you is a felony. If they do it more than 3 times, it rises to organized crime and becomes much more serious. But now you're starting to see, why did they throw me in jail 43 times so far and torture the fuck out of me? Try to kill me and try to get me to kill myself? Why? Any theories? Because I'm one of the best whistleblowers on the freaking planet. Ed Snowden can suck my dick. He taught us what we already knew. Oh yeah, you guys are spying on your ex-girlfriends? No shit, Sherlock. Oh really? You're listening to the phone calls of all the other chancellors? No shit, Sherlock. We knew that. Just everybody plays dumb, and everybody plays dumb because it's easier to play dumb. Yeesh. Fuck me. What was my final point there? Shit, I was making a really good point. I was loving it. I improvise half this shit too, so I'm like, I'll be talking to you and I'll be like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me say that. But some of these are my talking points, obviously. And I can't hammer them enough because I'm fighting a system that has fucking millions of years of bullshit, brainwashing children to get them to obey, and then those children grow up and believe the shit, and they feed the shit to their same kids. It's a horrible Mobius strip of artificial moronicity. You know what I mean? Artificial. Humans aren't stupid. They're artificially built to be stupid. By making a kid sit at a desk when he's 7 years old, you're training him. You're saying, listen, education is boring. You don't want to be one of them smart people. You'd rather relax, enjoy your life. We're going to teach you to read and write, just enough so you can be a good slave, good worker, good servant, good pawn. But you don't really want to learn too much about history because then you might turn against us. You don't really want to think too much because then you might turn against us. So we're going to make education boring as fuck. I could take kids out tomorrow and say, shop class, we can take all the boys from the age of 6 to 18. I'm going to say, we're going to go build a tree fort right now. Anybody want to come with me? Build a tree fort, learn some fun carpentry techniques. All the boys are going to go, yeah, let's go build some tree forts. We can say to all the boys, say, hey, anybody want to learn how to build a race car? Yeah, woo, let's go. Hey, anybody want to learn how to manipulate fire? Yeah, hell yeah. Who wants to learn how to build explosives? Well, hell yeah. Humans love learning. So they had to stop you from wanting to love to learn. Even the student loan debt. People think that's just a horrible, what's the word? A residue. It isn't. All of it's designed, people. Now they're going to discourage people from going to college, which I argue personally is it. Remember, with war it gets complicated. Sometimes your enemy is your ally if you're both going after a different enemy. It's a sneaky world, sneaky, dirty world. But my point is this. I've always argued that education is wrong. When I was a little boy, when I first got into school, I'm like, this is some horseshit. What is this Pledge of Allegiance shit? What does this have to do with learning? Pledge of Allegiance? This is some fucking Nazi youth shit. This is completely un-American. You're not telling me, America stands for individualism, the wild, wild west, every man for himself. And so it's even your argument, dog eat dog world capitalism. Fuck your neighbor over so you can get ahead. That's their argument. Well, okay. But the Pledge of Allegiance, I heard that shit, and I was like, this is some creepy shit. Everybody's standing up like we're robots. Look at this. Everybody putting their hand over their heart and robot, I pledge allegiance to God, blah, 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 blah. One nation under God. I'm like, none of this is legitimate. This is fucking a fake. This whole thing is a scam. I saw it when I was a boy. You can talk to my teachers in elementary school. They say Christopher was having none of it. We had to keep punishing him because he was a threat to the order of society. His insubordination, challenging a robot matrix we are constructing. College? I've always said college is garbage. What do you go to college for? To learn somebody else's ideas. Okay? No one sees a problem with that. Stop and think. You go to college to learn shit out of a book that you could just read anyhow, but you're paying money for the rest of your life for this privilege. Interesting. All of it's a scam. Luckily, people are finally, it's 2015, but I see more and more people are finally starting to wake up. Because the human race, usually, they'll figure it out. They'll figure out how to work fire. It may take them 5 generations, but they'll figure out. We figured out how to control fucking lightning. We figured out how to fucking send photographs to outer space. The human brain is fucking amazing, so they've had to do everything they can to control and hinder and hamper the human brain. Ta-da! Education. It teaches you all to think the same things, and none of them are true. I mean, some of them are true. Right? To this day in America, they still lie to the students every day and teach them that Marconi invented the radio. Not only did he not invent the radio, not only did he not slightly invent the radio, but it was settled in 1950s in American courts. Tesla invented the radio, and Marconi ripped him off. But now people are realizing why they didn't teach us about Tesla. When you go to a supermarket and the door automatically opens, kids love that. Tesla. You play a little robot car, wire control car or drone? Tesla. When you plug anything into the wall, phone, radio, hairdryer, Tesla. When you see a fluorescent light bulb, Tesla. Tesla's top 3 most important humans ever. So why is he excised from all the history books? People are finally realizing that now in the 21st century because he's a threat to the order. He wanted all free electricity. He had smart plans for all this stuff to make our lives better. He didn't do it for money. He didn't care about money. That was part of his ruin. They were able to use that against him. Everything you believe is a lie. Now, most of you would go, yeah, most things I believe are a lie, and I hated when I found that out. When you found out love was a lie, that hurt you. When you found out Santa was a lie, that hurt you. When you found out God was a lie, that hurt you. And the more things you found out spring water was a lie, it hurt you. When you found out all the songs you hear on the radio, they paid to have those songs played on the radio, it hurt you. You realized, is everything fake? Is everything fake? And the answer is, everything's fake. I'm staying in a place right now with the cutest puppy of all time. Cutest little super furry chihuahua. It's a chihuahua but without the buzz cut. It's a chihuahua with lots of white fluffy fur. The cutest, funniest little puppy. And she's all lovey-dovey with me. But then when her owner's here, she forgets I exist. But I would be tricked into thinking, oh, puppy likes me. Oh, puppy knows my smell now. Puppy loves me. Puppy's acting all my face all the time. Nope. Puppy's lonely or puppy's bored. But puppy don't give a damn shit about me. It's a pretty sobering fact, but that's life in a nutshell. Life is an ugly, ugly, cruel experience. I hate to break the news to you people. When you watch those penguin documentaries and all these other animals in the wild, I have a song. I shouldn't be digressing. When I was in Rikers in the maximum security, because I was charged with misdemeanors. First page, you could see why I'd have to be in maximum security, the box. This is where they punish you the most extreme. 24 hours a day of isolation. The New York Times tells you it's 23 hours of isolation because the New York Times won't tell you the truth. And all their writers know it's not 23 hours. They're lying. Everything they told you was a fucking lie, you fucking liars. Luckily, we now see with the internet and Facebook and stuff like that and Occupy Wall Street, people are slowly realizing that our jail system is just a job protection racket system. Our court system is a job protection racket. The police, job protection racket. We could stop crime tomorrow. Most of the world somehow did it. Japan don't have fucking 5% of the crime we do. How did they do it? How did they figure out what we can't figure out? We've had the world's largest police forces trying to fight crime forever. We can't do it. Why? In fact, you find where the more cops go, the more crime goes up. Where there are no cops, crime goes down. Or there is no crime. Explain that. It's not open to debate. Well, no, we send the cops where the crime is. No. Wherever the cops are would be the place with the lowest crime. For example, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. But today, it's got one of the highest crime rates on planet Earth. After 100 years of the NYPD focusing there? Something's a little funny. It's because if the policeman stops the crime, he ends up on the unemployment line. Why does New York City have the most arrests on planet Earth if our crime is as low as everybody thinks it is? Why would we have the most arrests? We'd have the lowest arrests, not the most on Earth. We wouldn't have the largest jail on Earth. We'd have the smallest jail on Earth. But we still got the largest jail on Earth. And they lie to you about that too. Rikers is the largest jail on Earth. Now, New York City, no one can dispute it. Most lawyers on planet Earth. Most judges on planet Earth. Most public defenders on planet Earth. Are you starting to figure out the real picture here? Ding, 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 ding. New York City has to continue to have the most arrests on Earth, whether there's crime or not, because otherwise a lot of lawyers are going to lose their jobs. A lot of cops, a lot of jail guards, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs if you stop the war on drugs, etc. Now, they're wrong. When I ran for mayor, I was very clear about it. When I ran for mayor, I was very clear. I said, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, but we're going to give them jobs that are good jobs. Half the jobs people are doing on Earth are pointless, stupid jobs. Example, billing company, the phone company, or electricity company. I said, we're going to make that shit free. There's only one flavor of electricity coming out of your wall. Competition is fake. It's so they could jack up the pay of the head of Con Edison from $100,000 a year to $11 million a year. Pretty good pay raise, I would say. I would argue that's a very good pay raise. You went from $100,000 to $11 million a year. Very good pay raise. Now you're seeing why they deregulated it. So they could create competition. So all your prices would go down and the service would get better. Well, once they deregulated it, we saw record blackouts, record brownouts. So they told you it's because everybody used more cell phones. Not remotely true, but you people believed it. Because why would the powers that be lie to you? I'd give you a whole bunch of reasons why they would lie to you. Thankfully, the internet is somewhat backfiring on the powers that be, and people are, with social media now, we're going to defeat the news media. The news media is fucked. They're all on life support. New York Times is on life support. Daily News, they tried to sell it this summer. A billionaire real estate mogul bought it. Why did a real estate mogul from Canada buy the Daily News? It didn't turn no profit. Because it allowed him to control who was president, who was governor, who was mayor. And then they kicked back, he installed them, and then they kicked back tens of billions in corporate welfare to him. None of this is remotely legal. Any single American can fight back with a lawsuit. You were defrauded. These people are like Bernie Madoff times a billion, and you are literally their customers. None of it's legal, people. But I can't fight them by myself. My name is Mud. They made sure that when I file a lawsuit in federal court, it's compromised because they see my name, and if they Google me or they've heard of me, they go, oh, that's that crazy guy. I read about him in the New York Times. He's crazy. He harasses teenage girls. No, I don't. It's pretty well known I don't harass teenage girls. People have seen teenage girls get on stages and read love poems to me. For some reason, young girls love me. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. People always say, Christopher, why don't you date girls your age? I'm like, because no woman over the age of 30 wants to go near me. I'm an artist. They want a guy who's got this shit together. They want a guy with a fucking house and a car and a good job and a fucking security. I ain't got that. My life's the life of a fucking crazy rock musician, artist, weirdo. 20-year-old girls want that man. They're looking for adventure. They're not looking for security. Do you understand that? So when you hear my critics use the old Julian Assange assassination technique of character, they didn't say I sexually harassed a woman. Actually, Giuliani did say that on radio and TV once. First he'd say he harasses the women, he harasses the women, he harasses the women, he harasses the women of my staff. Nope, never did. You ain't got one shred of evidence. Show a piece of evidence. Show one shred of evidence, you fucking liar, because he knows all the mayor has to do is say the lie. All the newspapers report the lie. If I file a defamation of character lawsuit, well, guess who put all the judges in? Rudy Giuliani. It's all a criminal racket. All of it. All of it is a criminal racket. Spread the word. If you want to fix this shit, and we can in weeks, we can fix this shit in weeks if you want to do that. But it's not up to me. It's up to all of you. If you do, we all have to get on board together and say, all right, we want free weed. We want you to legalize prostitution right now. Regulate the fuck out of it. Tax it. All right, we just saved billions. We just earned billions. Suck a dick. We want all hard drugs legalized. People are doing the heroin and the coke anyhow. Anyone who wants to do heroin does heroin. Anyone who wants to do coke does coke. You have not stopped anybody. The war on drugs was never meant to work. It was never, ever intended to work. It was intended as an endless source of cash and totalitarianism. People are now, thankfully, in the 21st century, starting to go, wait a minute. War on drugs doesn't seem like it's working. It's costing us a lot of money. Everyone I know who wants to do coke still does it. Everyone I know who wants to do marijuana still does it. This is all fake. All this is fake. Of course it's fake. We should legalize cocaine tomorrow. Regulate it. Tax the fuck out of it. I always said the government should sell it like postage stamps. So we taxpayers nationalize that shit. Taxpayers reap all the profits. Ta-da. Well, now every road is smooth, isn't it? With socialism, real socialism, every road is smooth. Ta-da! Fuck, I'm going on forever here. But I'm on a roll, and I want to crank this stuff out. So let's hit a few more points before we hang this baby up. Where was I going? Fuck. Please, people. What people don't realize is now, luckily, people are losing hope. Most human earthlings are losing hope because everything's falling apart. But there's also hope to be had by that. Because we kind of need everything to completely collapse. We kind of need to start from scratch. Because you have to remember, this entire society was built with crooked goals in mind. Crooked goals. And it's as simple. If you all want, like I told people in New York City, if you all want roof patios, New York City has shitloads of flat roofs. Everybody loves roofs. Plus you get to see the New York City skyline better. And there's a shortage of real estate in New York. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. Roof patios, gardens on every single roof. I intended to put swimming pools on entire city blocks up on the roofs like they have in Los Angeles. So you can swim at night, look at the skyline. Oh, and it's like the neighborhood swimming pool. You support the weight easily using a variety of buildings with a fucking platform structure. Ain't hard to do, people. We had this technology. I'm not lying to you. We had this roof technology, this patio technology, 10,000 years ago. So what are we waiting for? It's because New York City has 8 million people who don't stop and think. Their lives are so hectic, they never stop and think. So they just go with the flow and try to make it through the day. We can do better than that, humans. The human brain is fucking ferocious. We can solve any problem. The problem is they make you think you can't solve the problems. If the more and more New Yorkers who say we need to legalize weed and tax it, you'd be surprised how abruptly you can get gay marriage or free weed, or legal weed rather. We get free weed immediately if you wanted it. We can have anything we want, but you have to get off your ass. You don't even have to do a lot of work, no heavy lifting. All you gotta do is tell your friends and tell your other friends, say, we should all start making some noise. Write letters to newspapers, call politicians, and say, we want roof patios. We want roof patios. Tell your landlords, we want roof patios. Everybody wants roof patios. Now you create buzz and everybody starts talking about it and it becomes a trend because human beings work on trends and herding. The human race is a herd. We know that. We're not like cats. We're mostly like dogs. Although do dogs herd? I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying though. Cats like to be independent. Dogs don't like to be independent. Humans, for the most part, don't like to be independent. They like to be part of a group. And so I'm saying, well, then you need to use that correctly. Use your group power to say, we're done here. We want socialized electricity. Every household comes with free electricity. Now, you can have a certain amount. If you use more than that because you say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to turn on all the blow dryers and all the utilities in my house, and I'm just going to turn them on like mad. That's, of course, another lie they told you. They tell you if we made electricity free, everybody would just fucking leave all the lights on. But I can take you to a million people's houses, and they leave the lights on anyhow, even though they're paying the bill. So that's a lie. I can also, vice versa, take you to all my friends' houses who rent, who don't pay the water bill. You know how many of my friends just have the water pouring? They just turn all the faucets on and go to sleep at night. I don't know one person who does that. By contrast, everyone I know leaves the water running when they brush their teeth, whether they pay the water bill or don't pay the water bill. Because we love, what do we love? I love rushing water, and so do you. It was in my platform as mayor. I said, we're going to put fountains all over the city. There's going to be rushing water all over the city. There should be rushing water in everybody's house. But you have a little, like those Chinese waterfalls or whatever, $20. Around the city, you can put all kinds of art sculptures and stuff with rushing water. You're using the same water and over again, so you're not wasting the water. And the human spirit, we love rushing water. And probably most animals on the earth love the sound of rushing water. And suddenly your life is better just because you hear rushing water. That's why we foolishly leave the water running when we brush our teeth, because we love that rushing water. You see? So I just proved again that capitalism lied to you. Again, electricity has to be socialized. There's no intelligent reason. Now, check this out. We're going to be Con Edison has to send out 5 million envelopes. Just in New York City alone, they have to send out 5 million envelopes every 30 days to their customers with the bill that tells them, here's your bill, You got to mail it in. Do you ever have any idea how expensive that is? Most of Con Ed's overhead is probably not supplying electricity. It's collecting the bills. The MTA, today, the number one cost of mass transit in New York City, the buses and subways, the number one overhead cost is no longer running a subway or running buses. Their biggest cost is collecting the fare on the buses and the subways. I can go on in greater detail, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'll make another video of that. Do you understand? Now, if you make the electricity free tomorrow, Con Edison just saved billions of dollars. It doesn't cost them money to make the electricity free. It saves them billions to make the electricity free. But if they make the electricity free, the head of Con Ed ain't going to make $11 million anymore. And he ain't going to kick back that money to the politicians' campaign coffers. Ta-da! Free electricity. Americans could have free electricity in 1 week if they just stood up and said, if everybody just said, we want that fucking shit now. You see it. Here's a perfect example. People are like, you're going to use the military or the police against us. No, they ain't. Watch this. In New York City, one of the top most deadly crimes in New York City, deadliest crimes in New York City, is jaywalking. What's the one crime no police officer will enforce ever? Jaywalking. Ding, 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 ding. One of the most serious crimes in New York City, and you can do it in front of a police officer and they won't say a word. Do you know why? That's right. Strength in numbers. Human beings are simple. They will do what everybody else does. If everyone else believes in God, you'll believe in God, or at least pretend you do. Everyone will play dumb. If all your friends are atheists, you'll be an atheist generally. If all your friends eat meat, you'll eat meat. If all your friends do heroin, you're more inclined to do heroin than if none of your friends do heroin. We know how the human brain works, so let's fucking fix this shit, people. We know that the more people who say, we ain't paying this anymore, the police, they're not going to stand up to millions of their neighbors. The police aren't that powerful. The military is not going to stand up to millions of people. They're going to put their weapons down. And because remember, the police don't like fucking Con Ed bills either. Military don't like Con Ed bills. And the same with phones. There's no reason to have competition in phones. Phones should be a basic human right in 2015. And again, it don't cost us a penny to make the phones free. It saves us billions and billions of dollars to make the phones free. Think about that. Spread the word about toll booths on every road, and there will be no Republicans left in 12 months. Even all the Republicans will jump ship and start calling themselves Democrats. And they will be talking about how competition is a lie. They will follow us. They will do whatever you say. Strength in numbers. The more people who want free subways, free electricity, free phones, free water, and there probably should be free housing, but it should be basic. If you want a really nice place, you'd have to work more to create money. But human beings, we could all be living really great lives. Plus, here's my final point, I hope. Keep this in mind for the rest of your life and spread the word. I think you're all realizing it. Life, without any artificial forces in life, life is already very difficult. You got the elements. You got our own nature, right? As a man, I'm gonna be salivating over every time I see a woman's breasts or a nice butt walk by. Okay? Without any of the artificial constructs in our society by the fucking scumbag capitalists, life is already difficult. So many different reasons why life is difficult. Right? We will never ever be able to fully solve the problems between men and women, for instance, because those are primal. And other creatures, lions are always going to chase blank, and this animal is always going to chase blank, and all these animals are always going to have predators. And I'm always going to hate Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. They're probably nice guys, but that's the way I'm wired. I first saw them and went, ugh, who are these douchebags? I just don't like them. So we know that we can't fix everything, but we can fix most things. And so that's my point. Life's never going to be completely perfect. But let's get rid of the artificial bullshit in our lives. It's all artificial. And we know that because they somehow made the roads free. They somehow made the public parks free. They somehow made fake public education free. The higher education, colleges, used to be free. In California and New York, public education, if you went to the state colleges, used to be free. It still is in lots of Europe. Stop believing the lies they tell you. Spread the word. We got gay marriage and we got legal weed more abruptly than anybody thought. Because they finally did it my way. And if enough people say we want gay marriage, ta-da, it's going to happen. You want to know a secret? Gay marriage was legalized in 1868. And I told people that for decades. I ran for mayor and I told people that. And everyone a lot of people were shocked. A lot of people didn't believe me. And the Supreme Court in 2015 said, the smart guy was right again. It was legalized in 1868. Equal protection. But that's how even the gays were so bad that it took them this long to actually get the government to obey its own laws. Oh, like 120 years. 130 years. That shows you how slow the human race is. That's how slow the human race is. They legalized gay marriage. They legalized women having the right to vote in 1868. They didn't get that shit till 1920 after the Soviet Union gave women the right to vote. The Soviet Union gave gay people rights 100 years before America did. Not 100, but close. That's fucking fucked up, people. But that's why they had to teach you that communism was evil and socialism is evil, because all humans agree with socialism and communism. So they had to work overtime to brainwash you people. So please spread the word, because I would like free electricity, free roads, free phones. Actually, I have a free phone. Haha. Because I'm smarter than you people are. And I could go on and on and on. Please don't make me. It's your choice. I'm ready to kill myself. But you can make human society 97% better. But not if you just keep sitting on your ass.